Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, obviously the TV shows, merchandising, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course, I'll be talking about it. So here we are again. So for this video, I just thought I'd just talk about something I've seen from Disney Plus, and yes, it's Avatar, the way of the water. Pretty much like behind the scenes kind of thing, building the world of Pandora. And yes, it's been a good while since I've reviewed a documentary kind of a thing. And yeah, that's pretty much for good reason. Like I said quite a few times before, I'm not really the one that's really interested in documentaries to begin with, regardless of subject matter. This is not my cup of tea, really. But also on top of that, I was never exactly the biggest fan of Avatar. I didn't like the movies very much, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought they were overrated movies, if I'm gonna be upfront with you folks. But I just thought I'll give this a watch and just review it, just for the sake of reviewing something related to Disney in some kind of way. And I just figured, good enough, I guess. And it's been a while since I've spoken about anything documentary, anything in that nature, of course. So yeah, like I said, I thought this was a good enough reason to talk about it. So anyway, of course, we get to see James Cameron and his team of talented artists that pretty much combine a lot of their time that they spend on research, with the design stills and whatnot, to put us build up this world of Pandora with the new characters, creatures, so on and so forth. Talking about these environments, of course, that they pretty much build from ground up, or like this kind of way, from like trying to build this kind of thing, this board, of course, and it's just their way of trying to build this kind of a thing, of course, to give you a sense of what they're trying to aim for, this kind of storytelling, obviously. And that's fine, of course. It's pretty much what they're trying to do here. Pretty much trying to give you a sense of what they're trying to do and how these characters are, of course, and whatnot, and just give you a sense of how these characters live, and just basically trying to give you a sense of this creation that they did here, obviously. And that's pretty much the idea here, of course. And the thing is that we trying to give you this sense of, I guess, teamwork. And, well, of course, it's going to be a sense of teamwork because this is a huge, big budget film, obviously. Oh, yeah, there's, I guess you can say, got a lot of time where they have to pretty much have a lot of designers. Pretty much, it's a huge team that they would, of course, do. And that's basically the idea here. Trying to get into the whole aspect of filmmaking. And since it's a big budget film, of course they're going to be able to afford. I mean, when I say they, I mean James Cameron and his crew. We have like a big team, a big, real big team. A lot of props, of course. You see the way with special effects, of course, and whatnot. So we could see that. And so that's basically what they're trying to do here. Design these kind of sets, of course, and add to the sense of the performance to capture this kind of expansive amount of ideas, of course, and whatnot. They have to build a lot of stuff together with the water and everything else, of course, with this environment. And just trying to tell this, of course, a large part of the film does take place underwater, and that was really, I guess, a creative way for them to explore this vast environment that is needed to be designed, of course. You have to go this on this grand adventure with these characters, like this crazy underwater world, of course, and just trying to have a reflection on how these characters could live, obviously. So yes, of course, it's a really complicated thing to do. So they were really attempting to connect and just have this kind of feel overall, of course. And there's going to be a way to populate the underwater world, obviously. And yes, have a have a level of creativity going on throughout this entire thing with these characters having some design, obviously. And that's basically what this is trying to explore here at the end of the day, is just have a sense of what they were trying to aim for. That's about it really. What they're trying to get to. So the team's approach is to design its own ships, of course, the Sea Dragon ship, I believe, the setting for the climactic struggle where the humans arrive, the protector and whatnot. So a lot of these kind of ideas they have to think about, and obviously the grand scope of these things. And that's because you have to consider the fact that this is in effect an action movie after all. So you have to think about the action set pieces, obviously, when it comes to this kind of a thing. So yes, of course, this does come into play in the sense that it has to give you a big, grand cinematic feel towards it. Just the ooh, the ah, like wow, they really skipped good. All I guess you can say. The big appeal of these kind of action movies, of course. And these types of movies will have to have this kind of sort of appeal, obviously. So anyway, obviously a lot of angles will have to be made to appear to have a vast kind of, I guess, environment. Obviously, whether it's on the ground, underwater, on land, on ground, or what have you. So they definitely have to give you a sense of variety, even if it's on the water, I suppose, or wherever the characters may be hanging out, obviously. So it is definitely one of these types of things. You do have to make sure that everything's done properly, of course. And yeah, they definitely want to do some kind of thing here. We give these kind of sense of characters, of course. And I can see what they were trying to aim for. I can see what they were trying to aim for in this kind of a thing, really. But like I said before, I was never really a fan of these movies, like at all. But I can see what they're trying to do, of course. I can see what they were trying to aim for, obviously. But ultimately, that's what this is about. Pretty much behind the scenes, trying to create this specific environment with some fear to it, really. So I just thought this would be, like we're saying, could be a good way to talk about something that I've seen on Disney Plus. Mind you, this was a good while ago. So yes, I was pretty much slacking on this. And that's also another part of the reason as to why I wanted to do this video, because I was basically slacking on it. I was pretty much dragging my feet. So I just thought, okay, I might as well get to it. So yeah, this was one of these videos I've been meaning to do for such a long time. But I mean, yes, I was already preoccupied with various other things. Obviously, yes. But I just kept pushing this to a side, just farther and farther back. I kept delaying it. So yeah, this was one of those things I was supposed to have done like ages ago. So I just finally got to it. It's just about damn time I finally did. I know it took me forever, but better late than never, I guess. So yeah, this was definitely one of those cases I wanted to do that. Anyway, so I thought I'd just share this for fans of the films. If you're a fan of this and you haven't seen any of the behind the features by any chance, then I would recommend this. I would recommend giving this a watch, of course. And if you don't have Disney Plus, and if you feel like it's too expensive, well, you can always at least pay for 1 month. At least pay for a month, I suppose, and just call it a day. And just watch as much Avatar as you can. So if you want to do that, I'll say give this a chance. Give this a watch, obviously. So if you just feel like you have to watch literally everything and anything that's related to Avatar, there you go, I guess. Just give this a chance, of course. But yeah, I just thought I'd just take the chance to talk about this as a way to speak about something related to Disney in some kind of form, and haven't really gone through that many documentaries. That it's been a hot minute, like we're saying. So anyway, that's basically all I want to say is, if you're a fan, if it's different, please the fans. If you really want to get into the behind the scenes, I guess, production and everything, then this is definitely will give you a sense of that. Of course, I mean, of course, there's plenty of other things you get into. And yes, I know James Cameron has been meaning to make this for such a long time. So yes, I know the film itself has been in limbo for quite a while. Of course, story ideas could change because of this. I mean, it has happened before. Of course, story ideas could change, of course, but it has happened. Obviously, these things happen. And for And for anyone who is wondering, I never saw this in theaters. By the way, I never saw any of these movies in theaters, and just that's more of a me thing, really. I know that's more of a me thing. I never saw any of these movies in the movie theater, like at all. I just eventually saw it after the fact. It was released in theaters, really. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know. It's just something I didn't watch during its initial release. So even to watch the full-length movies took me a while. So anyway, I'll give this documentary on Novaval rating of a 6.8 out of 10. It's a 6.8 out of 10 for me. So of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. See ya. Oh yeah.